Andrew McCart, iFLTV, delighted to be joined by Mr. Eddie. Eddie, I don't normally comment on your drip per se, your clothes and the way you look, but I like it.
I can't believe, honestly, right? I cannot believe, one, the quality of Everlast, and two, the price. See this T-shirt? I think it's about a tenner.
Yeah.
I mean, like, unbelievable scenes. So yes, thank you for Everlast for kitting me out, and kitting me out for the Fight Day 5K tomorrow. Don't forget.
I'll be there.
We'll be there in Manchester. Be a good turnout tomorrow.
I'll be there. Eddie, we're here at the weigh-in. I mean, when I look at the card, I'm excited about the Bellotti-Gomez fight, the Caro Barboza fight, obviously, but then you've also got, do you know what I mean, like the young guns coming through. But for you, though, what's your pick of the bunch?
I mean, obviously, Caro Barboza is a world-class fight, you know, one of the best in the division. I'm just fascinated by Bellotti-Gomez. I mean, you know what happened last time. You know, it's going to be a war from the get-go. Probably sneaky, very, very interested in Pat McCormack against Robbie Davis Jr. Because I actually think under, you know, Crawler, he's looked good, Robbie Davis. I mean, he had a war with Lipinets, dropped him, nearly stopped him. Had a great win against Javier Fortuna last time out, former world champion. It's a massive test for Pat McCormack, to be honest. And, you know, even the opener, Zelfa Barrett against Jazza Dickens, is going to be a great little fight. So I think it's a brilliant card tomorrow night.
Hard to pick one. Eddie, a couple of quick ones though that's happened overnight. Dalton Smith,
yes.
Mandatory WBC, you excited?
Huge for Dalton, huge for us. You know, I mean, we've already got one 140-pound world champion, and Dalton Smith is a world champion in the weighting. You know, now that official order has come from the WBC, he will challenge for the world title this year. You know, they've got their fight coming up next week, is it? I think Sandor Martin against Puello. They'll probably sneak in a voluntary in the summer, and then they have to fight Dalton Smith. So Dalton will fight again April, May time, and then we're ready. You know, we're ready to fight for the world title. Dalton Smith will be world champion by the end of 2025.
That fight happened in the UK. Dalton Smith.
I will do everything to bring it to the UK. I don't have a problem with travelling, but absolutely, you know, the plan would be to bring that to Sheffield Arena.
And I want to touch on Ben Shalom, his comments yesterday with Joe Pugh saying, he mentioned the Joshua Bakole fight, and he basically said that you don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ben's a pleasant chap, absolutely clueless. I don't have any say into who Anthony Joshua fights. Like, do you not think AJ is like the size of AJ? What do you think? He phones me up and he goes, "Hello Eddie, I just wondered who I can fight next." And I go, "Whatever you do, AJ, you are not fighting Martin Bakole." And he goes, "Oh, all right then, Eddie." Like, he speaks to everyone and he goes, "Tell me the options," and then he chooses. That's maybe in the past why we went straight into the Andy Ruiz fight, or we fought Usyk as a mandatory when everyone said don't fight Usyk, and when he got beat by Usyk, he rematched him straight away when everyone went don't rematch Usyk straight away. The people that are questioning the balls of Anthony Joshua need to look at the history and need to look at the resume. Has AJ ever ducked a fight? Never. In fact, he stepped up to every challenge that's ever been presented to him. If you said to AJ, who do you, now Fury's retired, because obviously he does want that fight, who do you want to fight the most? The answer is Daniel Dubois. And you get people like Johnny Nelson going, you know, the team aren't talking about Dubois. Yes, we are. We just weren't ready for February 22nd. AJ wants to fight for the world title. Yeah, if there's a big fight out there against Bakole or Zhang Cabial winner or Wilder, we'll look at that. But he wants to be a world heavyweight champion. And for people to question him, especially Ben Shalom, I mean, I like Ben now, I was on the phone to him, winding him up a minute ago. Like, he's like a baby, he's like a kindergarten in the sport of boxing, in terms of his development and what he knows. You've got to be smart in that. Think about it. Like, AJ's the boss. And I will say to him, do I think he should fight Martin Bakole? Yeah, I like the fight. Would I prefer him to fight Daniel Dubois? 1,000,000%. Because they're both dangerous fights.
Win or lose against Parker Dubois?
No, I want to like, but look, the thing is, Andy, if you said to me, say Dubois beats Parker, and apparently we're ducking both of them, right? And you said to me, who do you want him to fight out of Dubois and Bakole? They're both dangerous fights. I'll go with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? AJ would fight Bakole in a heartbeat. What do you think Bakole is? Next coming to George Foreman, he lost to Michael Hunter at the York Hall. Do you know what I mean? All these guys, all of a sudden he beats Jared Anderson. This guy is wise. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a big lump, he's good. But come on, don't get carried away and think that AJ would duck Martin Bakole. They've sparred hundreds of rounds. Yep. it's a good fight. Bakole's a good heavyweight. But if you question the resume and the balls of Anthony Joshua, then you are thick as shit. Simple.
Well, that's your words, not mine, Eddie. Eddie, Frank Warren was on about the Cacace Nunez fight, and then he said that, kind of said, in a jokish way maybe, he said if Eddie's got a problem with Cacace fighting Lee Wood, he's to go to him, because this was all Frank Warren's idea why Cacace went Lee Wood. So if you've got a problem with that, you need to go see Frank and not...
Who said that?
Frank.
Oh.
I kind of ingest a little bit,
right,
I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, look, Frank will try and protect his fighter. I get it, like, Cacace probably got offered, I don't know, 100 grand more to fight Lee Wood or whatever. And Nunez is a fucking handful. I'd rather fight Lee Wood than Nunez.
That's funny, because Cacace said that Lee Wood's more of a handful than Nunez.
Who's fighting him? I was going to say that. The reality is, if he was, he'd be fighting Nunez. He'd be holding on to his belt. He'd be beating Nunez at home in Belfast, yeah? And he would be unifying the world titles and becoming a legend of the division. But he ain't doing that. He's vacated his belt. He's stuck Nunez. He's taking a little bit more money to fight Lee Wood, because Lee Wood's been out for a year and whatever, and he thinks Lee Wood's done, and he'll knock him out. That's why he's fighting him. No problem with it. I understand it. It's boxing. But I'm just disappointed that they've messed around Nunez, because he allowed the Josh Warrington fight on the basis that the winner would fight Nunez. Everyone went, yep, 100% we'll do that. And then they vacated. They didn't want to fight. It's all right. You're allowed to duck in boxing. It's not a crime. It's just disappointing.
Yeah. Quick one, Eddie, because I think the weigh-in's about to start as well. The Keyshawn Davis Berichick situation, I know I didn't speak to you about it yesterday, and it's still a thing. What's your thoughts on all that?
It's disgusting. You know, I mean, like, look, it's not. I mean, it's very different to the Sandy Ryan paint stuff, but like these, you know, firstly, it's disgusting racism that has no place. I mean, hopefully they find out who done it and give them a slap round the chops. Also, I don't know, you know, I think the accusation was to the Barancic's team. One thing I will tell you is I know Alex Krasuk very well, and he would absolutely never condone anything like that. He would find that disgusting. So I don't believe that I don't even know if it's come from that team. But I have no idea. But what it is pure ignorance. And, you know, pathetic. That's what it is. And, you know, hopefully we can move on. I like Keyshawn Davis. I think he's really good for the sport. But
the 5K as well, Eddie, you need to subscribe or you need to register?
Go on, check out the socials. Go on. Because of the size of the 5K, we're just having to follow the red tape now. You know, go on and register your details, make sure everyone's covered on insurance and stuff like that, because it started off as a bit of fun, 20 or 30 people, then it was like, wow, we've got 100 people here, now it's like a few hundred. So the Day 5K is flying, but we just have to do things properly now. So follow all the social links, see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow in Manchester by the Carp Live. See you there.
Eddie, you know what I'm going to do now?
I'm
going to buy myself. No, I'm going to buy some Everlast stuff. I'm literally going to buy that T-shirt right now.
Sweet.
Tenners, I'll buy 2. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, mate.